Hey everyone, welcome to the Hornet King channel, and in this video I'll be removing a massive German yellow jacket colony that decided to make its nest in a client's house. Here's the video, check it out. I'm the Hornet King, and I removed some incredible and insane wasp nests. So this is a German yellow jacket colony that made its nest underneath of this client's window inside of their house. There's actually two nests here. There's one nest under each window. When I got there, I noticed a lot of activity flying in on both sides. Now, I wasn't sure if there wasn't just yellow jackets going in on the left side and just crawling across into the other bay. But then I realized they're actually two different species. The one that I'm working on now is German yellow jackets, and the one under the left window are actually Vespula vidua.
Oh no, I got one, thank you. I got this here. You can already see the nest here. Just be really careful, they're really aggressive.
They're very distinct markings on each one of those, and different nesting behaviors, and even their nest structures are different. So it was very obvious that it was actually two different colonies. So this was the bigger of the two, and this was the obviously more active one as well. So I had to take off this panel, and these windows were redone at one point. So this panel here was a piece of plywood that was put over top of some T111, and that T111 was super rotten and nasty. So I did put everything back the way I found it, but there's going to be problems in the future if this isn't caulked and sealed up properly. So what you're seeing here are workers coming back from foraging. So I'll sit the vacuum nozzle here and just try to vacuum up a bunch of them coming back from foraging. People ask in the comments how I'm letting things escape and why I'm not vacuuming them right as they're coming out. Well, I'm trying to get them not only coming out, but also ones coming back from foraging. So I leave the vacuum nozzle in a particular spot that the foragers will come back and go right into the nozzle. So pulling off this T111, you can just see how rotten it is around the edges. Look at the size of this nest. This nest is massive. German yellow jackets, they put a lot of envelope in their cavities when they build their nests. So that whole like middle section is actually just envelope. There's no comb in there at all. But they can't help themselves. If there's empty space, they just got to fill it up with envelope. So even though that this video has only been going on for about 4 minutes now, I was here for probably maybe an hour. There's a lot of shots where I'm actually letting the vacuum kind of run for a little bit and sucking up a lot of foragers as they come back. But even once they make it back into the space while I'm removing the nest, they still have a mission to bring whatever materials they have and bring that back and carry that into the comb. So they typically won't swarm the second they get back into the space. Like, they're going to try to get into the nest, and that's where I'll vacuum them up from inside. So with all of my removals, I try to remove the nest pretty much in one piece, like all the comb layers, because if I start opening them up, it's going to release all the ones that are in between the different layers of comb, and I don't want them all flying all over the place. So I try to keep it pretty well intact if I can help it. Now removing the envelope, I can just remove that however. I just pull it down with my hands or whatever. I don't really have to be gentle with that. There's going to be some adults that are going to be inside of there that are going to probably fly out when I open it up, but it's not going to be nearly the same numbers as what it would be if I open up the comb and start separating that while it's hanging there. People always ask to see more of the vacuuming, so I did leave a little bit more of the sucking up the workers and foragers as they're coming back and leaving and swarming and all that, so you guys can get a little better idea as to how much it goes into just sitting here and vacuuming up wasps. I get a lot of vacuumed up wasps in the German yellow jacket colonies. There's a ton in the vacuum when I'm done. So I was curious if there was any comb inside of this space, and there wasn't. There was just all envelope. Just literally just a bunch of envelope inside of that space that wasn't doing anything for the colony or for the nest. But it was providing some free insulation for this guy. As you can see, there's no insulation in this wall. Oh yeah, my vacuum isn't strong at all. It just pulled down like 10 layers of comb. People always comment, new viewers will comment and say that my vacuum is so weak. It's like, actually, no, I'm just trying not to vacuum up all the comb with the vacuum nozzle. It's a lot stronger than it's given credit for. That's why I hold it at an angle. If I were to go like perfectly perpendicular to the comb, it would just suck the comb right off the wall. Suction physics is something not a lot of new viewers know much about, as it turns out. So I'm just letting the vacuum sit here and just vacuum up a bunch of the foragers and things. As you can see, my suit is not fully zipped up. Let's watch that again. Look, there's about a 6-inch opening in my suit. Look at that. So I had to go ahead and fix that real quick, even though I'm already like well into the removal. But luckily German yellow jackets, they're not like southern yellow jackets where they latch on and try to find a way in and manhandle you. If this was southern yellow jackets, I probably would have been handled. I would have known about that hole a lot sooner than this. So just being delicate here, trying to just separate the comb from the wall structure. So I wanted to show the nest in its entirety when I pulled it out of the wall. The homeowner and his wife are actually watching from out the window. So I was excited to pull the nest out and show it to them. Very gently. And it's a bouncing act too. And he was amazed. He knew there was a yellow jacket's nest in there, but I don't think he realized how big it was. Or how big it was going to be. Look at that thing. That's awesome. Lots of larvae in there for my birdies and for my squirrels. All right, getting it all bagged up. And now I can vacuum up a lot of the foragers that are coming back too. And I just let the nozzle just sit there and just suck them up. So even though that the cavity space is open, they will still go to the original entranceway to fly in and crawl up, because that's what they know. That's where GPS tells them to go. Let the nozzle sit right at the original entranceway. So just vacuum up any remnants and things just for good measure. Not that it really changes anything about the inside structure, because I'm going to spray a little bit of spider and scorpion spray in here, and that will just block up a lot of the little cracks and crevices and things. But it also keeps the foragers coming back into the space. It'll act as a deterrent more than anything. So this is just black flag spider and scorpion spray. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. Matter of fact, I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm not going to be one of those YouTubers that come on here and say, you know, this video is brought to you by so-and-so because they paid me money to tell you some bull crap about some product I don't care about. So this is the Vespula vidua colony, and this is, like I said, right to the left of the other colony, and you can just tell by the envelope structure itself. Every yellow jacket species is different. They all do something different with their nest structures or the building behaviors, nesting behaviors, etc. Vespula vidua is a little bit more aggressive, but this colony was already on its way out, so I'm not sure what had happened to it, but it was dying, if not practically dead. There weren't a lot of larvae inside of it or anything. So people always ask how I remove the yellow jackets out of the vacuum. Well, most of them are dead because there's a little bit of soapy water in the bottom of the vac. So here, since there was so much yellow jackets going in there and so much nesting material that I sucked up, there were still some alive ones in here. So just put the bag over top of the vacuum and dump it out, and then that kind of like slops everybody together, kind of mixes the soapy water in there and kills everybody. If the centrifugal force doesn't kill them as they're being vacuumed, because there's a baffle inside of there, they'll get into the water and that'll kill them pretty quick. And that's a lot of yellow jackets and nesting material in here. But people always ask what the inside of the vacuum looks like and how I empty it. And this is when I get home and I dumped out the bag and just let it just deteriorate and decompose inside my flower beds. I wanted to see if we could see a queen in here. Probably not. Alright, so obviously queen and daughter. Male with no stinger. Getting a little close up to the queen. Queen yellow jacket. My birdies. I just vacuumed everybody up last night. Look how many newly hatched adults there are in here. That is crazy. These are all newly hatched. It's alright, birdie. They're newly hatched. They can't hurt you. Come on, birdies. These have all just hatched last night. I mean, there's probably, holy crap, maybe like 50, 60.
You can't fly, girls. It's alright. It's a male. A lot of these are males, actually. Pupating adult. Here, eat this one. Deep-a-deep. 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 She got it. So they'll eat the pupating adults, but they won't eat the actual adults, like ones that have hatched. Another male. This one. Right there. That's a male. Alright, well, enjoy, birdies. This colony's doing great. Behind this branch. Hey, Ginger. You laying an egg, Ginger? You pushing out an egg? Oh, hey, your pet.
Okay, so I found this hornet comb outside and I decided to try what Hornet King does on his YouTube channel. So I always wanted to try and pluck the larvae out of the comb, so here goes. The heck is that anyway? Looks like paper. What the interesting. I wonder if the Hornet King ever ran into this kind of thing. This one looks greenish. I don't know what the heck this one is. Holy moly. What the heck? What the heck is this thing anyway? Not quite sure what this is. Ah! Oh, what the heck? Ann!